We will now ask Miss Ria Aladdin, Bishop High School student, who will now say the universal prayer for us.
Good morning, all. Almighty God, we who are here gathered together do most humbly beseech Thee to guide us in all our consultations, so that we may together build a land where knowledge is free, where the mind is without fear, and the head is held high, and where words come from the depth of truth. Grant us, O God, Thine aid and guidance, so that we may deal justly with the several causes that come before us, laying aside all private interests, prejudices, and personal preferences, so that the result of our counsels may be to the glory of Thy blessed name, the maintenance of true religion, the preservation of justice, the safety, honor, and health of our President, and the peace and prosperity of Guyana. Grant us, O God, the vision so to lead, that all the people of this fair land may enter into the state of brotherhood and unity, where the mind is led forward by Thee into everlasting thought and action. Amen.
Thank you. We will now recite the National Pledge. I pledge myself to honor always the flag of Guyana, and to be loyal to my country, to be obedient to the laws of Guyana, to love my fellow citizens, and to dedicate my energies towards the happiness and prosperity of Guyana. Thank you. You may be seated. Your Excellency David Arthur Granger, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Acting Prime Minister, Minister Kemraj Ramchatan, Ministers of the Government, Members of Parliament, His Worship the Mayor, Ubraj Narain, Councillors of the City of Georgetown, Commissioner of the Guyana Police Force,
Chair of the Regional Democratic Council, Region 4, Ms. Genevieve Allen, Representative of the Regional Democratic Council, Region 3, former Prime Minister, Mr. Hamilton Green, friends and relatives of the late President, Mr. Hugh Desmond Hoyte, Senior Counsel.
This morning, we join with all of you, but more particularly, relatives and friends, but more so, the sister of Mr. Hugh Desmond Hoyte, in remembrance of his passing. This morning, in this simple ceremony, we join with the Hoyte family, especially Sister Gloria, who is here with us this morning, and we're so happy to have you. And myself, and young Mr. Tudor, Councillor of the City of Georgetown, will take you through this program. We will now have a national song, My Native Land, from the police band. come here every year to celebrate his life in remembrance for each and every one of us, our connection, our relationship, which we shared with him. His Excellency the President has declared that in his agenda of many things for the development of Guyana, that education will be the main focus. He spoke of making Guyana an educated a land with educated people who can be able to carry this country forward. And Mr. Hugh Desmond Hoyte, former president, who we're here this morning celebrating his life, one would say took education very seriously, realizing that having a good education can certainly help you to have a good life. And so just to give you a little synopsis of his education background, in 1959, he obtained his LLB degree from the University of London. And immediately he returned home in 1960. He entered private practice as a lawyer, and in 1964 he became a member and chairman of the Legal Practitioners Committee. In 1966 he was appointed to the National Elections Commission. Between 1966 and 1968, he served as chairman of the Customs Tariff Tribunal. In 1967, he became chairman of the Timber Grant Wages Council. And that same year, he was elected vice president of the Guyana Bar of Association.
His keen mind, academic prowess, and his sense of commitment to his country all contributed to his election to Parliament in the People's National Congress government in 1968. As a Minister of Government, he held the portfolios of Home Affairs Minister from 1969 to 1970, Finance Minister 1970 to 1972, Works and Communications Minister 1972 to 1974, and Economic Development 1974 to 1980. In 1980, he was appointed Vice President with responsibility for economic planning and finance. And in 1983, he was redesignated Vice President, Production. In August 1984, he became Prime Minister and first Vice President, a post which he filled with dignity and a high level of political maturity, projecting his indomitable will as well as his clear insights on national and international issues. The following year, he was appointed President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to celebrate the life of an extraordinary man, a son of this soil, a brother, a president, and a leader. And so this morning, as we reflect on our association with Hugh Desmond Hoyte, I'm quite certain that there are many pleasant memories and many things that can put a smile on our faces. Let me take this opportunity to ask
welcome His Excellency Brigadier David Arthur Granger, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana.
Thank you. Please be seated. Honorable Mr. Comrade Ramjatan, Vice President, who is performing the functions of the Office of Prime Minister. Honorable Rhoda Lawrence, Chairperson of the People's National Congress, and other executive members of the People's National Congress, Ministers of the Government, Ms. Gloria Hoyte, sister of the late Hugh Desmond Hoyte, Mr. Ubraj Narayan, Mayor of the City of Georgetown, special invitees, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. The People's National Congress is an essential and inevitable institution in Guyanese nationhood. The PNC, if it did not exist already, would have to be invented. It was the PNC which brought togetherness out of divisiveness, progress out of backwardness, and moderation out of extremism. Forbes Burnham, our party's founder leader and our first executive president, bore the brunt of the battle against the forces of hatred and hostility. He led the country into sovereign nationhood as an independent state and as a republic, the 50th anniversaries of which we celebrated in 2016 and which we will celebrate in 2020, respectively. Forbes Burnham led the country's first economic transformation between 1964 and 1985. This involved the expansion of public infrastructure, the extension of public services, especially public education, and the establishment of huge drainage and irrigation projects to support the agrarian economy, among other changes. Hugh Desmond Hoyte, our party's second leader and the country's second executive president, led the second economic transformation between 1985 and 1992. He was a man of his times. He was the author of the Economic Recovery Program launched in 1989, which led to high levels of growth during the period 1989 to 1992. He was the motivator behind the economic liberalization, which transformed an inward-looking economy into a buoyant market-oriented economy. And he was the visionary behind the environmental protection program that we enjoy today. Hugh Desmond Hoyte was one of the earliest leaders in the world to identify the vital role which small states could play in protecting the world's environment. He committed, in response to the Langkawi Declaration issued by the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia in 1989, to set aside 371,000 hectares of forest, an area bigger than Malta, to be used as a model for conservation and sustainable development. That meeting sounded an early warning of the threats to Earth's environment by identifying the greenhouse effect, the depletion of the ozone layer, acid rain, marine pollution, land degradation, and biodiversity loss as among the world's worst environmental threats. Guyana today is about to embark on its third economic transformation. It is my honor to have been elected the third PNC leader to be president of this republic. It is my duty to continue the great work of my predecessors, Forbes Burnham and Desmond Hoyte, during their presidencies. The country's third economic transformation is witnessing the inexorable transition to becoming a petroleum state, to becoming a green state, to becoming a digital state, and to becoming an education nation. Hugh Desmond Hoyte was a serious man living in serious times. He was a champion of change in the country. His policies laid a firm foundation for sustained economic growth and environmental stewardship. He embraced continuity in our party, strengthening it as a major political force in charting collaborative partnership relationships. Guyana can learn much from his prudent approach to economic management and to political cooperation. Hugh Desmond Hoyte's contributions to the party and the country are ineradicable. They will endure. His achievements will not wither with the passage of time. May God rest his soul.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. Thank you, Your Excellency, for allowing us to view a different chapter of Hugh Desmond Hoyte's life and legacy here with us in Guyana.
We'll be now having a musical rendition by the Guyana Police Force. Band. By Mr. Hamilton Green, former Prime Minister. Followed by Mr. Carl Greenwich. followed by Mr. Vibert Carleton. He'll be followed by Miss Gloria Hoyte. Followed by Miss Florence Bourne. She'll be followed by Mr. Morris Wilson. He'll be followed by Pandit Rajnarai, Mayor of Georgetown. Followed by Mr. Wainwright McIntosh, Deputy Mayor of New Amsterdam. He'll be followed by Ms. Shondell Hope, National Congress of Women. Followed by Miss Hazel Pinder, representing the Georgetown District. She'll be followed by Mr. Ryan Belgrave of the Ghana Youth and Students Movement. Followed by Mr. Mortimer Livin of the Ghana Public Service Union.
Minister of Legal Affairs and Attorney General to lay on behalf of the Public Service Union.
You'll be followed by Mr. Ganesh Maipal of Region Number 3. Genevieve Allen, Regional Chairman of Region Number 4. She'll be followed by Ms. Carol Smith Joseph of Region Number 5. Followed by Mr. Kirk Fraser of Region Number 6. You'll be followed by Minister Valerie Irwin of Region Number 10. You'll be followed by Miss Yvonne Yearwood Beck. She'll be followed by Miss Shirley Class, AA. followed by Mr. Roshan Khan, friend of the late President Hugh Desmond Hoyte. Followed by Mr. Stanley May, friend of the late President Mr. Hugh Desmond Hoyte. He'll be followed by Pastor Dr. Ronald Garrell.
This morning, the whole purpose to be here, because for each and every one of us, in our own special way, we cared about Hugh Desmond Hoyte, former president of this beautiful country. He has certainly left his mark. As we move on today under new leadership, we understand that there were forerunners before, and one of those forerunners was Hugh Desmond Hoyte. Today we stand on the pillars which he would have laid. Sister Gloria, we're very thankful that you can be here with us this morning as we celebrate the life of your dearly beloved brother. To His Excellency, ministers, His Worship the Mayor, regional chairpersons, councillors of the City of Georgetown, and the Regional Democratic Council across the country, friends and well-wishers. This morning, we thank you for showing your appreciation for Hugh Desmond Hoyte. As we bring the curtains down, just remember that he was the forerunner in ensuring that we can continue to breathe clean, fresh air. He was criticized, but he held fast. And I trust that as we continue to live our lives, that we must remember Hugh Desmond Hoyte. We must never shy away from doing what is good and what is right. This morning, we want to also thank the Guyana Police Force Band. We would like to thank the staff and the coordinators of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. We would like to thank the management and staff of the Botanical Gardens. To everyone here who would not have been mentioned specifically, we want to thank you for coming out this morning and join with us in celebrating the death anniversary of our former president, our leader, brother, father of a true Guyanese, Hugh Desmond Hoyte. I want to thank you very much, and I ask that you all stand.
Okay, we'll be singing the first stanza of the national anthem. Thank you all.
Could you please remain and allow His Excellency to depart?